Good evening and welcome to the Core Premier Series here tonight for round 6 at the Daytona International Speedway here. We have an interesting one for you tonight. We are in the V8 Supercars here and they are racing around the Daytona oval track, not the road course here tonight, so that is the twist here this evening. Will be interesting to see how these cars do in the pack racing. But qualifying just wrapped up here this evening, so we will go over the starting order. Mason Smith there qualifying on pole. He will start in first. Paul Butler in second. Carl Handwerk in third with a great qualifying result there. Jimmy Covert in fourth. John Nobinger in fifth. Nick Nickerson there in sixth. Kevin Foster in seventh. Dane Simpson in eighth. We have Christopher Hamilton in 9th, Adam Jones in 10th, Daniel Stein in 11th, Willie Evernham there in 12th. Starting in 13th, we have Tim Thompson in 14th, Derek Sherman in 15th, Mark Thomas in 16th, John Crane in 17th, Dave Lohr in 18th, Dan Heisey. In 19th, we have Brandon Metler. In 20th, Mark Gonzalez. In 21st, Matt Crockett. And in 22nd, we have Eric Andrews. And starting 23rd, we have Wesley Fuller. In 24th, Jeremy Lyon Watkins. And rounding it out there in 25th, we have Patrick Shelton here this evening. So you can tell we have a very large field and turnout here tonight for this race. And that tells me this one should be interesting here as we are in these V8 Supercars here. Not at the road course at Daytona, but the oval track here this evening. A lot of downforce in these cars, so it would be interesting to see how they handle the pack racing here. But the man of the hour out front currently right now, Mason Smith, laying down a bolstering qualifying time there. He's going to start out front. And you can see the guys here are going to do this unique three-wide formation lap here. Just looks really cool to try to get a good angle of that. I love the paint scheme there from, I believe that might be Paul Butler. Sorry, that might be not Jimmy Covert. Carl Handwerk there, justice for Verstappen here. I'm sure he pulled that together for today's result of the Formula One race there, where Verstappen and Hamilton unfortunately got into it there in the Italian Grand Prix, but very cool paint scheme there. I'm sure that's going to be a heated topic here tonight. But Mason Smith there going to lead us down to the line. He's in that Shell Ford Mustang there, V8 Supercar. He'll lead us down to the restart line here as we're going to get started. The green flag is out and they are underway. We've got 25 cars here this evening here around the Daytona Oval here in these V8 Supercars. It'll be interesting to see what they do here in the pack racing as they head down into turn 1 for the first time. 60 laps here tonight. A long race ahead of us. Anything can happen. I guarantee we're going to have a big one at some point here this evening, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Looks like that outside lane's going to go to run down the back straight here as they are going to challenge the race leader going into turn 3 here. You see on the outside there the 77 of Butler in that black and blue car. Jimmy Covert right behind him, pushing him in that Monster Energy orange and black car, sorry. And we see one dropping below the yellow line there, presumably to fall back to the back. Now that is a strategy here when you're running the super speedways. Typically you don't want to run in the middle of the pack, so you'll either if you don't qualify up front, you'll drop back to the back and play it safe, because with 60 laps here tonight, it is almost guaranteed there will be a huge accident here. far out front here. Mason Smith is holding his own there as he is Carl Handwerk there in that orange car pushing him as they're going to cross the line complete lap 2 there this evening. He's still out front, and so far it looks pretty tame here. Almost seeing about 2 packs here forming. Oh, we're going to have a little contact there. That is Brandon Mettler. Who that was that made contact with him, but they're going to keep going. We got another car here. That is Derek Sherman dropping back in the back here. Presumably a strategy call there. And we see that outside line starting to get a run here. Paul Butler leading that outside line. Looks like they have more cars up top there. I'm a little surprised that that outside line is not advancing as quick as it is. So it could be a very difficult race here. We'll probably see them take it 3 wide here later in the race. So it'll be interesting to see what line prevails there. Ooh, we see Carl Handwerk there actually get knocked below the yellow line as they were trying to bump draft. That is John Nobinger there, I believe, in that yellow car. Currently scored in 5th. Gave him a little bit of a tap there. That's something they'll have to keep an eye on here tonight. They're not like stock cars where they have a really flat front end and flat rear bumper. Typically here with these pointed bumpers, you have to be very careful. Hit the car in front of you very square, or you will potentially lift the rear end up there, as we saw Carl Handwerk got knocked below the track, below the yellow line, I should say. You see Carl Handwerk there giving a great shove to our race leader there, Mason Smith. There's some good bump drafting going on here. These guys are racing super clean here as we're going to complete lap 5 out of 60 here this evening. And let's ride on board our 2nd place car right now, Carl Handwerk here, and get a bird's eye view of the bump draft as they go down the back straight here. And I guarantee this is a thing here that is going to throw off a lot of the drivers here tonight. You can see these V8 Supercars are right-handed driving cars. So if you've ever done a lap around a super speedway in a stock car here, you're typically used to being on the left-hand side. That can make judging that apron there, because you'll want to be as close to that yellow line as possible to get the quickest lap around here. So driving on the right-hand side here could be pretty difficult. You see he's going to go right up to the back of our race leader there, Smith. Give him a nice little shove, give him a little push, little bump draft here. Oh, we're actually going to see an accident here. That looks like Carl Handwerk involved. It may be Mason Smith there. Yes, it is Mason Smith involved as well. That's going to bring out the first caution. So let's go back and take a look at that. I'm going to have to back it up just a little bit. All right, you can see they're coming out of turn 2 here. That's Carl Handwerk there in that orange car. He's going to look to make it 3 wide going up the middle here. Oh, Paul Butler actually going to come down and go across the nose of Carl Handwerk there. And that ultimately knocked him down into Mason Smith. So a lot of left side damage there to Carl Handwerk's car. Let's take a look at Mason Smith's. And he's got some damage there on the right side, so gotta imagine these guys unfortunately going to have to take a quick repair here early on in the race to be able to keep up here with the lead pack. Aero damage here can throw you off massively, and you definitely don't want to lose the main pack. Let's Let's go back here and watch it one more time from Mason Smith's point of view there. As you can see, he's going to get knocked down. Let's go back. Try to get a look here. I want to get a car that is right behind. Here's a great shot here. As you can see, Carl Hamrick there in the middle. Mason Smith there in that shell-powered car on the bottom side. And it looks like Paul Butler may have gotten a little shove there from John Nobinger, I believe that is. And that is what started that chain reaction there. But we see a lot of action down pit road right now. It looks like 90% of the field has pitted here. Only the top 3 drivers here have stayed out. So you've got John Nobinger there in that number 44. You've got Mark Gonzalez and Derek Sherman, the only drivers to stay out here tonight. The next car there, and I do apologize, that was Jimmy Covert that actually was bump drafting Paul Butler there, not Nobinger, so I do apologize there, John. Jimmy Covert is going to come out in 4th after coming down pit road. He's going to win the race off of pit road. And Paul Butler there going to come out in 5th. So top 3 here taking a bit of a gamble as they are staying out. The rest of the field going to come down pit road. 50% fuel here tonight, so fuel strategy is going to come into play. That is for sure. We see a little bit of damage there. Mark Gonzalez on the left-hand side. Looks like he's been involved with someone there, and it looks like 3rd place Derek Sherman looks pretty clean. We saw him drop back early in the race to the back of the field as part of a strategy move, so this could be his strategy here. He might have been saving fuel. Now he's going to try his luck out front, but very early in the race here as we're just now completing lap 9 out of 60 here. And we got a few other drivers that are going to head down pit road again, presumably to top off on fuel here. And that tells us it is going to be a fuel strategy race here tonight, especially if we get a lot of green flag laps. Do not want to take a green flag pit stop here if you can avoid it. So they're going to head down pit road here. We got about 6 drivers coming down pit road again to top off. And meanwhile, Mark Gonzalez there is going to be out front. Sorry, John Nobinger is going to be out front here. Mark Gonzalez is going to be on the outside with a little aero damage, so it'd be interesting to see what happens to that outside line. But the lights are off the pace car, so we're going to get going green here momentarily. Lights are off the pace car, so it's going to dive off this time around. John Nobinger there in that bright yellow car going to lead us down to the restart here as we will complete lap 10, start lap 11 out of 60 here once we get going green. Leader's choice here on the restart as the green flag is out and he is underway there. And they're going to take it 3 wide here going down into turn 3. That is Nick Nickerson, I do believe, who's going to rocket up to the front there and take the lead away in that all-black car as they're now going to come through turn 4 here. We actually saw a little contact there. That is Paul Butler that got into the back of Mark Gonzalez there, who is currently a race leader, but he does have damage. As you can see, Nick Nickerson there trying to give him a little of a bump draft there. He got him a little sideways. Ooh, and Mark Gonzalez getting all out of shape there as he goes below the yellow line down on the apron. Not what you want to do here going around these high bank turns, as it's now going to be a 3-wide drag race down the back straight here. Nick Nickerson going to resume the lead in that bottom line, but no, Nobinger going to clip Gonzalez. And looks like everyone made it through there, but they did throw the caution very quickly there. As Nobinger looked like he was going to come back up through the field. Let's go back and take another look at that here. As you can see, Nobinger there getting into Mark Gonzalez, and everyone doing a great... Oh, he does come up and make contact with another car there before spinning out. But everybody doing a great job for the most part there, dodging him. And we'll ride on board Gonzalez here, as it looks like Nobinger just came across his nose. Right on board Nobinger here. Looks like he might have got shoved down a little bit there from that outside line, and that's one of the dangers here. Very narrow at Daytona to run 3 wide. And that is typically what you'll see happen here, fortunately. But doesn't look like Nobinger got much damage from that. Looks like the worst car is going to be Gonzalez, as that will bring out the second caution here this evening. And I'm not really sure what we're looking at here. It looks like Mark Gonzalez just spun out under caution here as he was trying to get back to pit road. Having a very difficult time getting that car back around. Does look like he's going to get going here. Meanwhile, we got a lot more action on pit road this time. It looks like almost every driver but 2 are going to come down pit road. So the 2 that are staying out is going to be Brandon Mettler there in that black, blue, and white car. He's going to be a race leader. Willie Evernham there in that red and black car. He's going to be in second. They last pitted on lap 8 and lap 9 respectively. So they are choosing to roll the dice here. They're going to stay out this time around, but Nick Nickerson there going to be the first car out of pit road. He'll be scored in third once they get going here again. All right, lights are off the pace car, so we're going to get going here once again. And Brandon Mettler there going to lead us down to the line, the restart line here. Willie Evernham going to start on the outside. These two drivers rolled the dice, stayed out here under our second caution, did not choose to pit. So they will be on the front row here once we get going green. But that all black car there in third, you see on the bottom side, that's Nick Nickerson. He's very quick, so be interesting to see how long it takes him to get back out front here once we get going. But the lights off on the pace car, so it's going to dive off this time by. And Brandon Mettler there going to lead us down to the restart line. Green flag is out. Great jump there by our race leader, Brandon Mettler. He's going to go out to about 4 or 5 car lengths of a gap here. Although that will be closed in shortly here as they draft up behind him. Nick Nickerson there going to look underneath Evernham for a second. He's going to take it away. Now he's going to look to the bottom side here underneath Mettler. Going to take away the race lead, presumably, if he can get a little drafting help there from Covert behind him there in that Monster Energy car. And then we've also got Mason Smith down on the bottom side. That third car on the bottom, that is the pole sitter tonight. Has worked his way back up there in that shell powered car. He's gonna be looking to make his way back up front here, as they're gonna be too wide here. Coming out of turn 4 here and gonna cross the line, complete lap 17 out of 60 here. Oh, gonna be a little contact there. Looked like that was Dane Simpson there in the 96. I'm not sure who he made contact with, but every driver there doing a great job to keep going. Let's check back through the field here. Looks like we really got about 2 or 3 packs forming here. You've got this lead pack of about 12 cars, and then further back you've got a little pocket there of about 3 cars, and then about a 8 or so car third pack back there. So it'll be interesting to see if they stay separated like that here tonight as they're going to come across the line. Oh, we saw Mettler there all out of shape coming out of turn 4. Looked like he might have gotten loose. That's something you would not expect to see here. Car getting loose coming out of the corner. And we see Carl Handwork there has worked his way back up into 7th. He's that orange car in the outside lane. And Mason Smith down there, that third car on the bottom lane, hasn't advanced any here yet. As you can see, they are pretty nose to tail here. 2 lines formed at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if they try to form a third line here this early on in the race, or if they stay status quo here and ride out here as we're on lap 20 out of 60. So not even halfway through the race here yet. Everybody doing great so far. As you can see, we've got 2 packs here. We've got a large lead pack and then that second pack further behind. Let's ride on board Willie Evernham here, as he's currently in 3rd. He's in that outside lane, pushing the lead car in the outside lane. That is Brandon Mettler, and let's ride on board here with him. So that is one thing to keep in mind here as we rode on board third place Willie Evernham there. You do not want to be the lead car here if you're on any kind of fuel saving strategy. You could hear Evernham lifting off quite a bit as he went around the track here in the draft. But if you're that lead car, you're going to be wide open, burning way more fuel than you are if you're in the draft. So interesting to see Nick Nickerson here as he was very adamant on getting up front. We'll have to see what his fuel strategy is here tonight, but they're going to come around here, complete lap 22 out of 60 here this evening. So far, everybody's staying pretty calm here in this middle part of the race. And just looking at their lap times right now, so the draft is good for about 2 seconds a lap here. Their qualifying laps were in the 49-second range. They're currently turning well into the mid 47s here. So that's one thing. If we stay green the entire time here, you're going to see guys want to pair up and strategize here for those green flag pit stops, because you do not want to go in and not have anybody pit with you to not have a draft here, as it is very crucial. As you can see, the top two there in the line, Willie Evernham and Mettler, are going to drop down in front of Nick Nickerson there and take away the race lead. Nickerson not happy about that. As you can see, he's all over the rear bumper there of Evernham. We'll ride on board Nick Nickerson here as he is currently scored in 5th. He's a 3rd car on the bottom side there, and you can just see how much they're having to check up here going down this back straight. And you can see a little bump drafting action there. You see Carl Handwerk now has moved up into that 2nd car on the top lane there. He's pushing Paul Butler around the outside here. Carl doing a very good job with the bump drafting. We saw him pushing Mason Smith on the bottom side early on in the race, and he looks like one of the more experienced super speedway racers out here tonight, as he is latched onto the rear there of Paul Butler as they head down the back straight. Another thing the guys are going to want to keep an eye on here is the temperatures here. These cars obviously not designed to run around super speedways here. So it'll be interesting to see here as they bump draft around these super speedways. They will have to keep an eye on their water and oil temps. Don't want those to get out of hand here. Could see a blown engine or two. If they're not monitoring those. No idea, honestly, though, because this is not a typical car track combination that you normally see here. And that's the great thing about this series, is they will do off the wall things here like tonight. And you see Nick Nickerson falling back. Oh, we've got a car upside down. Dane Simpson flipping around there, going down the back straight. Not sure who he made contact with. Does look like that may be the only car involved. Go back and see if we can get another look at that. Oh no, there is multiple cars there involved, just not spinning around. Let's go back and try to get another look here. See, that looks to be like Mark Gonzalez back there. That might have been that is the 44 of Nobinger on the high side there. The 05 of Tim Thompson also involved. And let's ride on board John Nobinger here as he was on that high side. You see Mark Gonzalez up in front of him, I'm sorry, as they're making contact. Nowhere he could go, unfortunately. And looks like Nobinger there is going to have the worst of the damage, even though looks like Dane Simpson did flip around there, but you see the whole front half of Nobinger's car missing, whereas Dane Simpson looks to be okay mechanically. Now, cosmetically a little bit there on the right-hand side. That's going to need some work, but interesting incident there. That'll bring out the third caution here tonight as we are just now halfway through the race here, completing lap 29 out of 60. Looks like almost everyone going to come down pit road but one car here. Kevin Foster in that number 8 machine. He's going to stay out. Last pitted on lap 15. Rolling the dice here, probably betting on another caution here soon. He will stay out. Looks like Paul Butler's going to win the race off a pit road there. Carl Handwork right behind him. Nick Nickerson there in third out of the pits. We've got Jimmy Covert there in fourth. Mason Smith in fifth there on the race out of pit road. But it does look like Kevin Foster is going to come down pit road there eventually. So he'll fall back to the back of the field there. Paul Butler, though, going to be our race leader once we get restarted here. Carl Handwork on the outside there in second. Nick Nickerson in third in that all-black car. And then we've actually got Jimmy Covert in fourth in that black and orange Monster Energy car there. All right, lights are off the pace car, so we'll get going green here this time by. We'll start the second half of the race here as we have just completed 30 laps here tonight out of 60. It'll be interesting to see how the patience and the tempers flare here tonight in the second half of the race. It looks like it's very difficult to make a pass here, as these cars are pretty much like any stock car here around the Daytona oval track super speedway here. They are draft locked and they are running 2 wide most of the racetrack here. It'd be interesting to see if they make it 3 wide here toward the end of the race. I'm sure it'll happen. We've seen it happen so far. It has resulted in a few incidents, but we're going to get going here as Paul Butler in that number 77. He's going to lead us down to the restart line. And their off. Green flag is out. Paul Butler getting off to a great jump there. Going to launch out to about a 2 or 3 car length lead. It looks like Nick Nickerson there going to battle it out with Carl Handwerk as they head down into turn 1. Nickerson all by himself there. No one to draft behind him as Paul Butler move up the track. And he's going to bunch up the field here. Oh, we see Evernham going to make contact with Handwerk. Looks like Evernham is going to keep going, but who is that? That is Gonzalez gliding down the track there, and that's going to bring out our 4th caution. You see heavy damage there to Gonzalez. He has no rear spoiler, so let's go back and take a look at that there. That was very interesting. So we're watching Gonzalez back here. It looked like he already had damage. You can see the accident unfold in front of him there, and he's just going to spin down the track. He's going to take out, I believe, was the number 12 car. Let's All right, we're going to ride on board Carl Handwerk here, who was on the outside. You saw Paul Butler move up the track here, sort of bunch them up, and it looks like are going to try to go around the outside there, just going to make contact. And nothing really he can do there. Let's ride on board. And yeah, you can see he just had a massive run there. Tried to go around the outside. Just unfortunately not enough room up there to make it by without contact. And unfortunately there, just into Carl Handwerk and setting off a bit of a chain reaction there. But we're going to see more action down pit road this time, as it looks like most cars going to come down pit road except for our race leader currently, Tim Thompson. He's going to stay out there. He last pitted on lap 29. And Matt Crockett there in second, last pitted on lap 30. So these guys are going to stay out. They just pitted. But Nick Nickerson there going to come out of pit road as your first car off of pit road. He's going to be scored in third. And with the 50% fuel here this evening, I have to imagine that it's going to be tight on fuel here from here on out if they stay green. That's why we see every car coming down pit road right now, just trying to top off the fuel tanks just in case we go green the entire time. They want to make it as long as they can here. And does look like Handwerk is going to be out of the race currently, as he's sitting on pit road a lap down. So unfortunate result for him there, as he was having a great run all the way up in second at one point. Check in on Evernham there. Looks like he might have taken his quick repair. They get one here this evening. Basically, they get a brand new car. But they can only use that one time, and that car looks undamaged, so he probably took his care there. Same story here with Mark Gonzalez. As you can see, he now has a rear wing. So getting that car repaired here, but the trick is going to be they have to make it 25 more laps here of survival at Daytona. And I can tell you, as aggressive as the guys are being right now in the middle of the race, we are almost guaranteed to have another big one here before the end of the race. All right, lights are off the pace car, so we are going to get going here this time around. The 05 there of Tim Thompson is our new race leader. He's taken a bit of a gamble here, stayed out while everyone else pitted. Matt Crockett there on the outside in that Ford Mustang. He's going to be in second once they get going here, but the pace car is going to dive off this time around, and they will get resumed racing. Be interesting to see Nick Nickerson there starting on the bottom side in third. Does he ride behind Thompson, or does he try to get around and take the race lead here as they do take the green flag? Tim Thompson off to a great start. Nick Nickerson also off to a great start there on the bottom side as he's going to draft all the way up to the rear end there of our race leader. He is already going to take a look to the outside here. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Paul Butler there and making it 3 wide in the middle. And looks like that outside lane just stalled as soon as Nick Nickerson there pulled out. But now he's got Paul Butler with him on the outside. They're going to draft down the back straight here. And who is that? That is Mason Smith there in that Shell-powered white and red car. He's going to pick up right on the back bumper of Thompson on the bottom side. And you can see here, looks like Paul Butler going to take a look to the inside of Nick Nickerson. Very interesting that Nick did not drop down to that bottom line. Looks like he wants to run the top side. So Paul Butler says, I'm going to drop down here and try my luck on the bottom side. As you can see, they are getting very dicey here up front as we have 24 to go this time by. Tim Thompson there in that Ray Bestis car, pushing Paul Butler, trying to get him back up to the race lead here. But Nick Nickerson has a very good drafting partner up top there. Matt Crockett doing a great job with the bump drafting. Oh, we saw Matt Crockett there get out of shape coming out of turn 4. Almost lost it into the wall. And we've seen quite a few drivers do that here tonight. Looks like these cars very difficult to handle here once the tires get heated up and get a little wear on them, as they're now going to go down into turn 1. 23 laps to go here this evening in round 6 of the Core Premier Series. Paul Butler currently out front there in that Carolina Panthers black and blue car on the bottom side, but that all black Nick Nickerson there in the number 2 looking mighty racy on the outside. Going to be anybody's race here as Nick Nickerson is going to clear Butler down into turn 3. He's going to drop down there. Smart move by him, so he's going to take over the race lead. Oh, we've got 3 wide on further back. I believe that might be... We've got a car up in the wall. Is that Adam Jones there? It is Adam Jones in that Motorcraft red and white car. He's making it 3 wide right now. He was up into the outside wall. Is he going to be able to keep that car straight down the back straight here and find a line to drop into? Still 3 wide at the moment. Looks like he's going to drop back to 13th here. Meanwhile, up front. Well, we'll keep here on 46 of Adam Jones as he is coming on that high side. Look at him coming up here. He's going to go all the way around Paul Butler here and challenge for the race lead with one heck of a run. Oh, we've got a car in the wall. That was Covert in that orange and black Monster Energy car. He's going to keep going, though. But Adam Jones here showing how to make it up. He was in 13th that previous lap, making it 3 wide. He said now's the time to go to the front here as we only have 21 laps remaining. They're going to stay 3 wide here, down through turns 3 and 4. We see Nick Nickerson go up to the top of the block. He's going to... Oh, no, we've got multiple cars involved. Adam Jones involved. Looks like Covert involved. Butler involved. Willie Evernham involved. And that is going to be the big one here tonight as they are still spinning around. Multiple cars involved. Paul Butler taking a lot of damage there. Adam Jones also with a heavy damage. Sure who else we had involved there. A lot of cars. Let's go back and watch that one more time here. Check out the replay. All right, we're going to watch it in slow-mo here to dissect everything. First of all, you see Paul Butler there in that black and blue car in the middle. And you see the Ray Bestis car come up the track, get into Paul Butler. That's going to send him up into the top wall there. That's going to collect Adam Jones, who's going to come down. Does he hit Mason Smith? Wow, Mason Smith there in that shell car, just barely dodging it. And we see Paul Butler upside down into the catch fence up there. Covert getting tagged from behind by, I believe that was Gonzalez. And that's going to send Covert around. Looks like Covert's going to get into Gonzalez there. Everyone else doing a great job to slow down and avoid it here. But wow, what an incident here. And oh, who is that on the bottom side? Just got hit out of nowhere there by Covert coming down the track. Right, I tell you one person I want to ride on board. All right, we see Mason Smith's on board here as you see that action unfold right in front of him. Doing a great job just to go low on the track there and able to dodge it and go on by. So very good heads up driving from him. That will bring out the 5th caution here this evening as it looks like we're going to have about 17 laps to go. Once we get going green here, our race leader currently out front, the number 2 there of Nick Nickerson, who last pitted on lap 33. Tim Thompson there, who was involved in that incident in that 05. He's got a little bit of cosmetic damage there. Be interesting to see how much that slows him down. He's going to be scored in 2nd. And Mason Smith there, going to be scored in 3rd potentially. No, actually, he's going to be scored in 2nd. I believe Thompson there may be getting a penalty. And that does look to be the case. He's going to drop to the rear of the field. So race control deemed him at fault there for that incident. So he's going to fall to the back. That's going to move Mason Smith here, who did a very good job there of avoiding that wreck. Good heads-up driving. He's going to start in 2nd on that outside lane as we're only going to have about 17 laps to go. So he's in a prime starting position there. Matt Crockett in that number 10 car. He's up 18 spots since the start of the race here. He's going to restart in 4th. Willie Evernham going to be in 5th. Eric Andrews here in that number 9 car. He is also up 18 positions. He's going to be restarting in 4th. Like the field is shaking up here, as you generally see at super speedways here. Just because the guys dominate out front most weeks here, super speedways are a whole different ball game. It's a game of strategy and a game of survival here. As you can see, Nick Nickerson doing a great job of being both quick and survival. We saw Mason Smith just pull out the survival card there. As we're going to get restarted here this time around. Lights are off the pace car. We'll get going. 17 laps remaining here in the 60 lap round 6 at Daytona here in the Core Premier Series. And we see a car going around the outside there, getting his lap back. I'm not sure if they're going to delay the start here of the race or not to allow that car to get on by. And they are not. So they're going to get going green here this time by. Green flag is out. Nick Nickerson getting a great jump there. Going to go out to about a 5 or 6 car length gap as they head down into turn 1. We see Mason Smith up top there. He has Eric Andrews right behind him, drafting him in that black and green car. But Mason Smith going to drop down to the bottom side here and draft up to the back of Nick Nickerson there. Daniel Stein on that outside side there in the blue and yellow Irwin car there, pushing out the 9 of Andrews to the race lead with one heck of a run down the back straight there. Now we see Mason Smith there starting to get to the backside of Nick Nickerson there. Maybe he can hook up and push him as well, but that outside lane has the momentum here as they head down into turn 1. 16 to go. We're 3 wide on further back there. That is Nobinger going to get into another car there. Not sure who that was, but they hit the wall, bounce off of it. Going to keep going here. We see a lap car ducking out of the way there, getting out of the way nicely. And it is starting to unfold here as we're in the second half of the race here. Currently out front, the 9 of Andrews still out front. Daniel Stein in that 87 up top there in that yellow and blue Irwin car. He's looking to the outside. Getting a great side draft there out of the exit of turn 4. He may be able to clear them as they go down into turn 1. Oh, we've got cars going around behind them. That is Patrick Shelton there in that orange car. That will bring out the 6th caution of the evening. I have to orange car there on the outside lane in the back of the pack there. It looks like Paul Butler in the 77 might have been involved as well. As you see, these two are going to get into it there through the tri-oval. And that, it just looked like there was no room there. That sent Shelton around. But this is interesting here, as Eric Andrews will be the race leader. However, just looking at pit strategy, it looks like the field is pretty much split. We have a few drivers in the top 10 that pitted on lap 41. We've got the other half that pitted on lap 33. So the question is going to be on fuel. Are they going to make it here? I have to imagine with these caution laps, they will be good from here on out through the end of the race. But Eric Andrews, our biggest mover of tonight, currently your race leader, up 21 spots since the start of the race, having a great run here. Nick Nickerson there in second. And I tell you, it's anybody's game here tonight. Ooh, is that Nick Nickerson going to head down pit road? No, little fake. He even faked us out there. So a little juke move there by Nick Nickerson. He's going to stay out on the track. But what I was going to say is we saw Adam Jones with a run from about 13th, and he made it all the way up to the race lead before ultimately an incident came out. But we know here, once you get a run, you can take that third lane, go up top, and slingshot around the drivers here. So I'll say it's anybody's game here in the top 10 here, as we're going to have about 12 laps remaining once we get going. And real quick, while they are continuing their pace laps here, let's go check out the race or the series schedule here. Season 6 of the Core Premier Series. It is one interesting series. As you can see, a different car track combination every week, testing the skill and adaptability here of the drivers in the series. That is one thing I love to see. But we are here, the V8 Supercars at Daytona. Next week, we go do a little short track racing. First short track in the series there is we're going to take the late models around Southern National, and then one of my personal favorites the week after that, Tour Modifieds at New Hampshire. So some good short track racing 2 weeks in a row here. That is going to be one thing I am looking forward to see. And then looks like we're going to head to the Spec Racer Fords at Nürburgring there for a little road course action, and then some rallycross at Phoenix. So got an interesting few weeks ahead of us here in the Core Premier Series. Well, this one here tonight, though, is proving to show some action here, as the lights are going to go off the pace car. We will get restarted here this time around. Eric Andrews there in that number 9 car only has 11 laps to hold off the 24 cars behind him here at the Daytona Superspeedway. All right, lights are off the pace car, so we're going to get going green here this time by 11 laps will be remaining, as Eric Andrews there and that number 9 going to lead us down to the restart line. But can Daniel Stein up on the outside there in that number 87 car, can he put a challenge here to Eric Andrews as they come down to the restart line here? Green flag is out. Eric Andrews off to a great start. We see Nick Nickerson there on the bottom side trying to get a good side draft off of Daniel Stein. He's going to move up into second as they head down into turn 1. Looks like Nickerson going to look to the outside here, try to slingshot around Eric Andrews, as they do have 11 laps to go. Coming out of turn 1 here, we're going to be 3 wide down the back straight. We see them getting into each other. No, Daniel Stein going to get up into the wall there. They are going to keep going. No, now we're going to see the action unfold behind them. And multiple cars there involved. That looks like Brandon Mettler. We've got, that is Jeremy Lyon Watkins involved. Looks like Patrick Shelton might have gotten a little damage there. Willie Evernham with a little damage as well. Well, that was one very long accident. We saw that start further on back the track, and it took a little while to develop there. And we'll see here, Mark Thomas triggered on our scoreboard here as they were trying to check up for the wreck there. just nowhere they could go. Let's ride on board Mark Thomas here. As you can see, the accident's going to unfold right in front of him, and just nothing he can do as he gets tagged in the rear. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time there. You see the very slow John Crane there as he was just trying to avoid the accident. Was doing a good job, but car just bounced off the wall there, got into his right rear. Going to cause some damage there to him. And who is that with no front bodywork at all? That's going to be, I believe that is Derek Sherman. That is Jimmy Covert. Having a very tough night. He was up front in the top 5 most of the first half of the race. But the 7th caution here tonight, that sure is going to spice things up, as we are only going to have a handful of laps remaining here once we get going green. And it is still anybody's race here. A race of survival here. Let's go over the top 5. Eric Andrews still out front there in that number 9. Nick Nickerson in 2nd. Evan Foster doing a great job moving his way up through the field there. He's back up to 3rd. Mason Smith currently in 4th. And Dan Heisey there has worked his way up into 5th. So he's having a great run. And look who it is. Dane Simpson there in 6th. That's the car we saw upside down at one point here tonight. He has worked his way all the way back up to 6th. But our race leader is currently also our biggest mover tonight, as he started in the back of the field. He's up 21 spots here since the start of the evening. So it looks like so far he's played the strategy right. But we will have about 7 laps remaining here once we get going green. And that is still a long time for anything to happen. As you can see, we've had multiple big ones here tonight, and I think we at least still have one more in us tonight once we get going. A lot of damage there to the right side of Daniel Stein's car as he was up into the wall there. Oh, we've got one going around under yellow. I'm not sure what happened there. That's Derek Sherman. Go back and take a look here. Cars might have checked up in front of him here, and he might have just got on the brakes trying to avoid it. Oh, that looks like a mechanical issue there. The rear tire's just locked up. That could have been something as simple as hitting the emergency brake button there, or downshifting. I'm not sure what happened there, but we saw the rear tires just lock up on that car. He's going to go around, struggle to get that thing going under the grass there. But he does a good job. Everybody doing a great job to avoid him, even though it was under caution. Definitely not the strangest thing we've seen here in iRacing. With a car spinning around like that under caution. We've seen some very, very strange things, but that one could have just been a driver mistake or a mechanical issue. But time will tell here as the lights are off the pace car. We're going to get going this time around. Can Eric Andrews hold off the very quick Nick Nickerson there, who starts in 2nd, or even Kevin Foster there in 3rd, who's worked his way up through the field? Then you've also got the very quick Mason Smith there in that Shell-powered car, up in 4th on that high side. Anybody's race here tonight. Time will tell. We'll have 7 laps remaining here once they get going. The pace car is going to dive off this time, and Eric Andrews will lead us down to the restart line. And unfortunately, looks like we may have hit the time limit here tonight. Yes, we did. So that is one thing I had in the back of my mind, but unfortunately time got carried away from me there. And we're not going to finish all 60 laps. That's actually going to be the end of the race there, as they hit the time limit. And Eric Andrews is going to take home the race win tonight. And just as soon as we get the official results back up, but that is one of the things here at Super Speedway Racing with time limits. You do have to make sure you're in the right place at the right time, and Eric Andrews pulled it out correctly here tonight. All right, official results here as we unfortunately hit the time limit. We did not get to complete all 60 laps, but nonetheless, we had some great action here tonight. Eric Andrews in the right place at the right time there. He's going to take home the race win. I believe this is his first win of the season here tonight, so he's doing some celebratory donuts there. Well deserved as he worked his way up 21 spots here tonight after starting in the back of the field, taking home that race win. Nick Nickerson having a great points finish here tonight. He's going to come home in second. Kevin Foster, great recovery run from him. He's going to come home in third. Mason Smith with a good run there, finishing in the top 5 and fourth. Dan Heisey there in fifth. Dane Simpson in sixth. John Nobinger in seventh. Christopher Hamilton in eighth. Matt Crockett in ninth. Adam Jones in 10th. Tim Thompson in 11th. Willie Evernham in 12th. John Crane in 13th. Daniel Stein in 14th. Patrick Shelton in 15th, Jeremy Line Watkins in 16th, Brandon Metler in 17th. Paul Butler, unfortunately, caught up there in an incident. He's going to finish in 18th after having a great run all night long. In 20th, we're going to have Derek Sherman, Jimmy Covert in 21st, and 22nd, Carl Handwerk, Mark Thomas in 23rd. In 24th, we've got Mark Gonzalez, and then rounding it out there in 25th, Wesley Fuller. So we'll try to get a word here with the top 3 tonight for some driver interviews here. We'll see if they're going to make their way up into the broadcast booth here. Give us just a moment. All right, looks like the drivers have made their way up into the broadcast booth. So now let's get a word with our third place finisher here tonight. We have Mr. Kevin Hollywood Foster up in the broadcast booth, bringing it home in third. Hey, Kevin, it's the other Kevin up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going, guys?
Hey, man, first of all, congratulations on the run here tonight, bringing it home in third. What a crazy car track combination here tonight. V8 Supercars at Daytona. Gotta ask, it looked like just like any other stock car we see out here at Daytona. It looked like a race of strategy and survival. Is that what you experienced out there in the car tonight?
Absolutely, Kevin. No, it's just these cars punch a big hole in the air, and the draft is so effective in these cars. I mean, we're talking, 11 to 12 miles an hour suck up speed. The bump drafting wasn't that effective, but yes, once you got out in clean air by yourself, you were just a sudden duck. 'Cause those guys can draft right back to you and pass you at will. But yes, it was a war of nutrition here. Unfortunately, pretty cool car and track combination. I do like it. We should run this combination again. Maybe tweak a setup a little bit. Little squirrely getting in to the corner and kind of floating off a little bit, but very fun. We had a good 9-10 lap run there. It was fun. Kind of hard to pass as far as when you're in the pack there. You'd have to back off and get a run, but you know, good combination. And top 3, I'll take it. Not where I want. I'd much rather have a first place, but good points day, and we'll move on to next week.
Absolutely. Gotta ask, did you have a teammate out there tonight? Just wondering how important it might have been to have a teammate or two with you tonight to strategize with and help draft up through the field.
No, I didn't have a actual official teammate tonight, but anyone here in the Core Racing League, these guys are great drivers up there. Any one of those guys, we know each other, and we all work well together. Well, majority of us work well together, and so no official teammate tonight, but just want to thank. I work with Metler there. Thanks him for keeping it clean in front of me. And if that caution wouldn't have came out with 3 laps ago, I think it would have been a battle between me and him at the end. But it is what it is.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations on the third place. Great finish for you tonight. So I got to ask before we let you go, next week, how are your short track skills? Looks like we head to Southern National in the late model.
Yeah, last season I won the it was the Bush Triple Challenge, Bush Light Triple Challenge. So I won the Myrtle Beach race last year. So when it comes to short track, I'm good. I'm excited.
That is what we love to hear. So, hey, man, well, congratulations on the third place finish tonight. And we're going to be looking out for you in Victory Lane next week.
Amen, brother. Appreciate that. And congratulations to Eric on back to back wins here. It's pretty remarkable. Great job to him.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it there for our third place driver here this evening. Eric Andrews coming. Sorry, not Eric Andrews. Kevin Foster. I should have that right. He has a great nickname there, Hollywood. But he's going to bring it home in third. So now let's try to get a word with our second place driver. We have second place Nick Nickerson up here in the broadcast booth. Hey, Nick, it's Kevin. You got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Hey, man, doing well. First of all, congratulations on a great run here tonight. Coming home in second. Probably not where you wanted to finish this evening. I can imagine the frustration with hitting a time limit here with a handful of laps remaining. I bet you were just itching to get going green there again. Probably had a strategy to play out for the race win there, but bringing it home in second. Got to ask, we saw you up front pretty much the whole second half of the race there. So just got to ask, what was your strategy going into tonight? It looked like a race of survival. Sort of wanted to pick where you wanted to start and when to move up through the field. So what was your strategy coming in here this evening?
To be honest, there was no strategy. I mean, obviously, it's not a car track combo that you would race normally. So I just don't really, I just kind of winging it lap after lap. And I felt like I had enough confidence in myself to make some passes to get up front. And I was able to do that a few times, especially on the restarts. I learned that these things just have like an incredible side draft. So, sometimes I could even hang by myself in my own lane as long as I two cars that were drafting, I could just like side draft them together and kind of hang with them the whole time. But the yellow flags kind of messed up certain like I guess fuel strategy things that I had planned. But all in all, I mean, good race. I mean, I missed last week due to being on vacation, and I've had like just a terrible start to this season. So hopefully now this is kind of like good momentum moving forward and start clicking off some wins.
Absolutely. So next week, it looks like we head to short track racing. We're going to take the late models to Southern National. So I got to ask, how do you feel about that car track combo?
This could be fun. I mean, Southern National high banked track, so I don't know if I've ever actually raced on that track. But yeah, man, I love late models. It should be a good time.
Absolutely. Well, I got to give you the chance while you're here. Is there anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Man, just everybody that participates in this league. It's tons of fun, man, and I appreciate you and broadcast, man. You do an awesome job.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Well, again, congratulations on the second place finish tonight. Good points night for you, and we're excited. We've got a couple well, I guess you could count the Tour Modifieds at New Hampshire as a short track. It's a short track car at a bigger track, but we've got two very unique and challenging races up ahead, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in Victory Lane next week.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Take care.
All right, that'll do it for our second place driver here this evening, Nick Nickerson, bringing it home in second. Now let's try to get a word with our race winner tonight. We've got Eric Andrews up in the broadcast booth. Hey, Eric, it's Kevin. You got a copy? Eric, it's Kevin up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy on me?
Yeah, I got you. You got me?
Yeah, we got you. First of all, congratulations on one heck of a run there, taking home the race win tonight at a very challenging car track combination here in these V8 supercars at Daytona. Looked like you played the strategy perfectly. You were in the right place at the right time as the time limit ran down there. We saw you move your way up through the field. You actually were our biggest mover tonight, believe it or not. You made it up 21 spots since the start of the race. So you started in the back, worked your way up to the front there in the second half. Got to ask, was that all part of the strategy there to hang out in the back in the first half of the race, avoid the big ones, and then move your way up?
Yeah, these cars, they were a handful in practice, and I was watching a lot of the guys, and just the adjustment of the guys getting used to driving on the right side, and you want to hug that line. And with you being on the right side of the car, I noticed so many people just catching the line, getting loose, and I was like, man, there's gonna be some big ones early, and so I just decided to lay back. I actually did. My qualifying lap was a minute something or other. I mean, I made sure I was going to be in the back and just hung back there, and finally one of those late stops, I think it was about 10th, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to see how I can work my way up. And I got up in there, and man, I said it all played in my favor right there when the caution came out. We were 3 wide there, and I mean, I was barely a nose in front of Nick when that caution came out on the last one. And 2 in a row, it feels sweet.
Absolutely, and congratulations on two in a row here in the Core Premier Series. That's no easy feat here, as we just came out of another difficult car track combination last week. I believe it that was Bristol, right? The Stadium Pro Trucks. That was
Yes, the Pro 2s at Bristol last week. Yeah.
yeah, that is that is a difficult beast to tame, just like tonight. But gotta ask, next week we're gonna head to some short track racing, late models at Southern National. How do you feel about that?
I like the late models, but once again, I mean, it's short track racing. Anything can happen. It's just like this with Daytona. Anything can happen. I expect a solid run next week. But like I said, I mean, all it takes is one little bump at the wrong time, and it could change your night in a heartbeat. So, but we'll give it the best shot to make it 3 in a row for sure.
Absolutely, and it looks like the week after that, one of my personal favorites there, we're going to head to New Hampshire in the Tour Modifieds. I might have to work out a deal with Carl and maybe switch with him. I really want to run that race, get out there with you guys, because that is an awesome car track combo. How you feel about that one?
Yeah, those are always fun, to run. And like I said, once again, it should be a good fun race, and keep it clean, and you got a shot of putting it in victory lane.
Absolutely. Well, got to give you a chance. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to, or any sponsors you need to thank here tonight in Victory Lane?
Yeah, first want to thank you, Soak Tires Broadcasting, for broadcasting this. And Raise Energy has been a big thing of mine, and glad that they've come on board helping us out. Mission Car Care, and also last week I forgot to give Dave Lohr a shout out for my paint last week. He had my paint last week, and I forgot to give him a shout out last week for that one. So, but yeah, I appreciate Carl with Core and everything he does, and everybody behind the scenes like Butler, and everybody that does everything behind the scenes, and Wes doing the helping us out, being the eye in the sky. So it takes a lot of people to put this together, and I thank every single one of them for us to allow us to be able to come out and do this, and have an awesome series to be a part of.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations on the victory here tonight, two in a row. I tell you what, we're looking at a hat trick here next week. Excited to see what you can do there in those late models at Southern National, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in Victory Lane again.
All right, sounds good. Well, I appreciate it very much, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you in your victory lane next week.
All right, that'll do it for our race winner here tonight. Eric Andrews taking home two in a row here in the Core Premier Series. Round 6 is complete, and next week, like we've mentioned, we're going to head to some short track racing, Southern National in the late models next week, so you're going to want to tune in for that. Thank you all for tuning in here tonight at Soak Tires Broadcasting here for the Core Premier Series, and just a special shout out to all the sponsors here that put on the show: Raise Energy, Wood Nichols Woodworking, and Joka Graphics, all coming on as partners here in the series. They make the show happen. And it has been an exciting evening, but that's going to wrap up round 6. Again, thank you all for tuning in here at Soak Tires Broadcasting, and we'll catch you next week.